So today's episode we are going to be fitting the hydraulic handbrake. So we're judging off the old setup I had from last time. This is where it's at, but the problem is now we have a goopy rear facing handbrake, so it sits a lot forward and that should be back here. So the plan is to make a couple of mounts so we can get the goopy handbrake up onto here, so we're happy where it is. Another problem was when I had the handbrake like that last year, the cylinder was buried again in the seat and it could hit my knee off it, so it wasn't ideal. So we're going to try to do away with that and get the rear facing handbrake, so we have a lot more leg room and it's a lot handier. So it's lightly mounted to where ribbon up for a minute, but this is where it should be. Literally we have enough room to pull the handbrake, and we want to run the H pattern box. It'll be a sequential style shifter, so you won't be like going to the turn forward or anything, so it'll just be pulled straight back and forward, so we can have them close enough together and still be able to use it. So I'm happy with that. So a nice little delivery came in today. We have 245 40 18 Antares, and we have 265 35 18 Havleads. These came from Dan's Tires, which is now our official sponsor. So big thanks to Dan's Tires for supplying us with these for our official test day for this. So Dan's Tires are based in West Limerick. They do car repairs, mobile unit, tires, valeting, you name it. They're 100% sound. They're supporting us in their program, so I highly recommend them. If you're ever in that direction, need your car fixed, need tires, need valeting, anything like that, make sure to give Dan's Tires in West Limerick a shout out. The reason why we've chose the 245 is in the Irish class, if it's coming back, the rules from the last time were a 245 road tyre was maximum, so that's why I wanted to get these. But if when we're going to BDC, which is a different class, we're allowed to run 265s, so it's nice to have tested on 245s and 265s. So it's going to be 600 horsepower, so it's ideally 265s, but if we have to do the 245s we can. So we'll have test days in to make sure that we're happy with them, and the same with these. So I'm really looking forward to trying these out. I have tried these Havleads before, I really like them. They're grippy enough, smoky, and actually last very well, to be fair, but never tried these. I want to try these, so hopefully as soon as we get this finished, as soon we can try this. So a little small update on this as well. We have the lines just loosely mounted here. I need to get a pipe here to run inside. So we have all the pipes mounted in the front. We have pipe coming from the bulkhead, nicely mounted into the little bias valve, which is here. So I'm warming up the back tires, shut off the brakes, and when we want to go start drifting again, pull it back up, and then you have the brakes to the rear of the car. And you can also have it a fraction of the way as well, so handy enough that way. So it's into here, into the line which goes into the T-piece in the back, and the T-piece in the back goes to 2 flexible lines, and then 2 more flexible lines into the calipers. So I'm hoping it should be okay. We'll have to test out and see. They actually fit very well. I thought this was a bit short, but it should work. I'm hoping it should work. And goopy handbrake as well, which is very high quality. I like that. So sequential shifter going here as well for the M4 DCT box. So we'll have to get change the clutch pedal as well, or get a switch onto the clutch pedal, because the DCT box runs like an on-off clutch switch, so there's no hydraulics. So we need to put a sensor on the clutch pedal and we need to map it into ECU Master ECU, which is going to be done at Car Sport Paint in Dublin. So the plan was with this was a 530D box with triple play clutch, short shifter, you know yourself. But with modern technology now, Car Sport Paint suggested to me, would you not do the M4 DCT box conversion, which works very well now. And I said, okay, we'll try it. So we're going to try it. It's a bit more expensive, there's a bit more electronics involved, but he assures me he can do it for me. So we're going to try it out. So all it is, it's the same setup as the Vino, same prop shaft, same everything. It's just, it's a different style adapter plate. Everything else fits up perfect. Bolt it on, bolt it up, same thing. So one thing I actually never done was sit down in front of the camera. I was always camera shy from a child, so don't pick me up on it. So I thought I'd talk about that. People have said to me, I've never seen like this car going, or where I came from, or how I started getting into drifting. So I thought I'd put some time. So when I was 13, I went to my first ever drift event, which was Jack Fest in 2012, which was the last ever event in Pro Drift. So immediately straight away I said, I have to try it. So I ended up seeing like James Dean, Dwayne McKeever, all them when they were young, like they were very young at that thing. So the month after that, I think it was a month or two after that, I done the Pro Drift Academy at that time, which is now known as the Drift Games Experience. So I admitted straight away when they started getting into it, I was hooked straight away. I immediately just, that's it, this is all I want to do. So I got to practicing. I says, right, I want to do Drift Games or the Pro Drift Academy again. So a couple of months later, February, I done the Drift Games. I think it's the one or two up from the one I was doing, which was the first one was at the starter, which like nobody's ever done before. So I done 2 events up from that. So straight away I was like, nah, that's it. I am completely hooked now. So November 2014, I think I was 13, I bought this. So this was an original 323 CI road car with tax, NCT, it had everything on. Bought it for 500 euro that thing. Like, no way you would get one of these 500 euro now. So the minute I got it, straight back, stripped it to nothing. Well, not interior, all the seats, got bucket seats, got handbrake into it. So then straight after Christmas then it was like, right, let's go. So our first event was a slab day I went to in Casey's Drifters is what it was. And first day out, clutch, literally 3 laps gone. So I was like, right, okay, maybe it was just the original clutch in the car, so we're not going to be too worried about it. So came back to the garage, put another clutch in. I was 14, so I was working at that time, but I was like, if my father needed a hand in the garage or somebody needed a hand at something, I'd go out and earn my money for this car. So it was never ever like say funded by anyone else. I know like my parents are absolutely the most supportive people I know. Like I'd say they're sick of me talking about this car at the moment, but they're the most 2 supportive people in my life. Like they always, if I ever needed anything, they'd get it, and they'd always support me. Like my father literally dragged this car all over the country just to see me going out. It was even good like spending time with father and all that. Like he was always there. He was always, if something broke, he'd always be the first one there to fix it. So it's nice to have something like that. So I kept progressing, which I ended up then getting handy slabs, fair enough. Next thing, I-80C came around for the first time, which was 2015, 16, I think it was 15. And then we put in an entry. And that was it, we went. And just realised that the track is completely different, much more higher speeds. Like a slab, you can just end up anywhere you want. Track is nothing like that. So you're on it or you're not. So we ended up doing that, and I failed miserably. There was so many good drivers there. I actually never done, mostly like saying, like drivers I know very good drivers, and they just didn't bother doing competition. But that came up, they actually done it. So I was completely down the bottom. It wasn't going to happen. So we progressed. We done the drift games days as well. So all the drives, like the Mandello tracks. So we progressed from there. I was very happy with the track. Next thing, the entries came back up to 2016 again. So I said, right, maybe I have it this time, maybe I have it. So went and done it, and I literally just completely like high end, like 100,000 drift cars all around me. And I was in this like just a standard 323 that time, where well definite, we have a roll cage and bits and pieces like that. So I was like, I definitely know. I even took it. I was even in school that time. I even took a day off school for it was on a Monday or something like that. So I took the day off, and I ended up I didn't get my license that day either. So I was really starting to give up hope then, like, cause this just never gonna happen then. So I then says, look, it was a time of leaving cert as well. So I says, look, I'll just take a year out and maybe we'll put some more power into the car. Maybe that's what's happening. So I gave up drifting for a year, and I got a full turbo kit for this car. It was the original 323 engine. We put a turbo kit on it, and got it mapped. Got it, I think it was something like 280 horsepower. So we're like okay, I'm hoping this is going to work this time. I'm really hoping this is going to work. So we've done a few practice days, and the turbo really getting used to it. Like a turbo and an NA car is just a completely different experience. The power bands and everything are just completely different. So we got used to the car. That was it. So we then 2017. I-80C entries come up again, so we're like great, and there was a very limited amount that time because there's so many drivers. So the first day I think it was, there was so many good drivers that they just called it like, you say they're going to give 20 drivers a spot now before even qualifying starts, and then they were going to give say 10 spots after that. So they gave 20 spots, but I didn't get 20 spots. So that's when I really started worrying. Actually, the man who came in that was sponsoring me tyres, Dan O'D, he was one of the top 20 drivers, and he was one of the most supportive people at the track. He was literally, I had like 3 spotters. Like Dan was on one side of the track, a friend of mine, Joe, was on the other side of the track, and Neil was on the other side of the track. They were all telling me like, I went out for my first run, and I'd done it, but I just wasn't happy with it. And then I said, look, I'm going to try harder. And the guy texted me, I know you can do better than that. It was literally, I was sitting on my phone, and all the texts were coming in, you can do better than that, you can do better than that. So the second run then, I said, look, hell for later. Went hell for later, and I spun on the first corner, which I think that's it. I'm giving up, I can't take this anymore. So then, what I found out then is if you've done a good first run, you've done a bad second run, they give you a third run. I ended up getting a third run, and I absolutely just nailed it straight out of the park. I was like, I am very happy with this. And so I ended up getting a license. So which I was absolutely over the moon. I had like 3 years training, and I got it eventually. So I never give up. I was thinking of it, I said, no, I'm not going to give up this time. So done that, and then the first round then was 2 months later. So we got a body kit for the car, bits and pieces. It wasn't this rack here, it was It was just blue, it was topaz blue, original top, a few stickers on it. So the first one was in Modelo, which was, I think it was in the paddock. It was set up in the paddock. So I done that and ended up qualifying 30th. So first event qualified 30th. It was something like a 49 run, but it was a very, very, very wet day. I remember it very well because I was struggling. I was very struggling with grip. So I ended up getting knocked out by Darragh Spencer in the top 32. He had a standard 328. So I hit very, very, very good driver. So then he said, look, I got the car tracked then. We went to Watergrass Hill. I was like, oh my, the car was running so well in practice. And the minute I went to top 32, and the car just stopped. The minute I dropped the boot in third gear, it just cut. So I was like, what? Please tell me what is wrong with this, something simple. Nobody, I had no boost gauge or nothing this. So we went and tried a cut seat thing. We tried out a few things, putting the plugs in, went out for the second qualifying run and just didn't do it. So that event was straight out the window. So the event after that then was Watergrass Hill again, which was another 2 months, I think, or 2 months ahead, or a month and a half ahead of that. And we literally, I tried putting in sensors, I tried putting in everything. It was given a camshaft sensor, we changed the camshaft sensor. See, I had absolutely nowhere to test this car because I was living in a housing estate, so I couldn't go right now in a housing estate, obviously. So I went and, what did I do? Oh yeah, I went to Watergrass Hill again. So I said, look, please be fixed. So I went out first lap again, exact same thing. No, we changed fuel pumps, changed everything, and that was still didn't work. So that was another event thrown out, never to be seen. So then that's where Car Sport Paint came on board. They're like, look, drop it up to me, I will fix it for you, and we'll see after that. So it ended up being so stupid, like the wastegate was stuck closed, which is over boosting, so the ECU was cutting it. So something simple, but we learned from it. So I ended up getting the car mapped again for more power while I was there. So and it then brought the Goldstone track. Very happy with it. This is right. Definitely Watergrass Hill or Modelo this time will be Kate. So around 4 ADC or AADC was a Modelo again on the back track. So I ended up qualifying like something like 24th, I think it was. It was a very high score run, so it was very hard to beat. But I got there and went up in my top 32 against Dylan Garvey. I knew it was straight away. I think I wasn't competing with Dylan Garvey. Very fast car. He was with his brother's David Garvey's car that time, and that I knew well that wasn't going to work. So that was it then. That was the season finished. So I was happy with 2 top 32s, and I got to battle with some very good drivers. So I know the level I had to compete with. So that was okay. We then took the off season, and I got put a bigger turbo on the car, a bigger intercooler. I got wrapped, all the white body kit, everything like that. I was like, we're taking it slowly. Then they announced to us that they wanted some IADC drivers to compete in the semi-pro in Watergrass Hill. So there was a big rush to finish this. And we were literally sitting on dyno 2 o'clock in the morning on the trailer and straight to Watergrass Hill. So it was very tiring. And like I had a team sitting in Watergrass Hill waiting for me with this car. Because we literally had no bonnet locks, no boot locks, no anything for regulations, fire extinguishers, nothing like that. So the minute I came to the track, there was 5-6 lads on hand putting in fire extinguishers. I'm so grateful for them ever since. And got me out in practicing very well. But I didn't know as the car started to break down a bit. But we said, look, we'll fix it afterwards. I just want to get out. So competition came in and practice fine, everything was fine, and came to qualifying then and went okay. We qualified I think 33rd, which was, there was a lot of drivers there. Like, it was very hard to compete with. So I don't mind say qualifying like 40th or 33rd, it's just literally right out of the Like I think I missed him by 1 point or something like that, which was crazy. So it was hard to deal with. But look, that was the end of the career for a while. Then I went to a 2-day event for Auto Heroes in this, and all morning perfect. Broke a diff the first lap, happy. Broke the third lap, then I broke a boost pipe popped off. I was okay with that as well. Fixed all that next thing. I think it was the evening I noticed the car started to get a bit smoky. So I then lifted out cap and seen piston rings straight away. I think this engine is gone. I was pouring so much oil into the catch can. So my friend Kevin Gagara from 80 then made up an absolute genius catch can system that was able to separate the oil from the air. So it was actually burning the oil, not firing it into the catch can. So they were very, very smart two lads that day. And then the whole car ran for a day and a half, a full day and a half. And I couldn't see the car with the smoke, that's how much smoke was coming out of it. But a full day and a half I went for. So I was happy. I was going to build another engine, but then I sold it. So that then ended up in this carbon oil. So what the plan was then was I was going to take it out for oil, maybe put another engine in it or standard engine in it, I don't know. But I ended up taking a few years out because I bought the E36, which is down here. So I had a bit of, I was just something to do. I was getting a lot of back problems then, and I wasn't really comfortable with sitting in a seat for like a race seat for too long. So we took a few years out. So now we're back to the stage we are now. So I was collecting parts over the years, and I collected so many parts, which you can see on this car now. Which we're hoping one day I'd just get the motivation to finish this car. So as of today, here it is now with a lot of bits on it that I bought over the years. It's a struggle at the moment. Like I'm still only an apprentice mechanic, like, so I still have bills to pay every day. I have cars to pay for, phones and shit to pay for, you know the usual. So I'm buying bits and bits as I go. Like I have obviously Dan Players, Car Sport, I have them on board. They're really supportive. But yeah, it is a struggle at the moment. Like I want to get out, but I want to do this car right as well. So yeah, so that is it there for this video. Anyway, I literally, just while I had no parts, I said, look, nobody knows very little about what I do or who I am, so I thought I'd put it into this video so people could listen to the life story what I had with this car and how I got into drifting. Like, it is a very expensive motorsport, but the thrill you get out of it is second to none. Like, you couldn't even dream of it. Like, what I always wanted to build is, say, like a motorsport workshop or anything. Like, hopefully someday we could build something like that. I'm really hoping it. That's why I started this channel, so I can share my journey ahead to where I've always wanted to be. So that's why people say to me, look, when I start YouTube, I says you seem to have very, very interesting projects going on. So I says, look, we'll give it a try. And the first video I put up just literally blew up. Like, I think it really has 1,500 views, like something that's, I honestly thought that was an achievement. And I had a lot of support, a lot of texts, a lot of messages from people supporting anything we could do to let them know. So I'm very, very, very grateful for them. And hopefully this channel isn't boring for people. Like, it is hard, as I said. I'm only starting, so I watch a lot like Adam LZ, Drift Games, people like that to try see what they're doing that I could improve on myself, and asking other people how I also could improve. So obviously people are to do like the cars, and every time I see somebody I always asking how's the car going and stuff like that. So it is interesting for me to see the actual support people have. Like if people come to offer like the diamond with the tires, and people offering help, like the lads were here spraying the car and getting it prepped. Like I was in work when this car was getting prepped here, so the lads were very, very helpful then. So, and obviously my parents is the most two supportive people ever. Like I literally wouldn't be even interested in doing this car if it wasn't for them. They were always saying, I'd like to see you back out, and when are you going to be back out? And so I'm very, very, very grateful to have two supportive parents in my life as well, and also very supportive friends as well. I know we have everybody has their ups and downs with friends, like, and they always support you no matter what. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I said I may make a midweek upload. I didn't get to put a video last weekend. I want to make a midweek upload this week because I want to go to Donegal this weekend. The Donegal International Rally was cancelled this year due to COVID, but people obviously still want to go for the weekend, so we're going to go for the weekend and see what's happening. And I haven't had a holiday in a long time, so it's nice to get away somewhere for the weekend. So I'm more than happy to get away somewhere. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It's really supportive to me. And like the video, it's not usual, share it around to your friends. So really thank people who have supported me to get this far. I've always wanted to do something like this, but I never really had the gut to do it. Like, as I said, very camera shy. So just like me looking at this camera now, I can't even look at it. That's why I'm looking at the wall so much. Yeah, so thanks all everybody for watching, and make sure to subscribe to the channel.